There is a best way to play Quake. I'm going to tell you all about it. You know, Doom started us down a path with id Software. They kind of became rock stars and celebrities after that. It cemented the FPS as like the awesome genre for cool people. And then Quake came out and took everything to the next level with completely 3D graphics, and it supported 3D acceleration. So it was like one of the first official 3D games. What we're going to do now is talk about how to re-experience some of that. And if you've never experienced it, I'm going to talk about how to experience it for the first time the right way. If you go online and you ask people, how's the best way to play Quake these days? I'd say that 8 or 9 people out of 10 are going to say Dark Places. And that's an okay version of the game, but it is too far removed from the original feel and the original atmosphere of the game, and I feel like something's lost when you do that. You know, you can come in and you can grab all these crazy graphics and stuff, but it doesn't look right. It doesn't have the same feeling, doesn't have the same grit. So I would recommend avoiding Dark Places unless you play it just vanilla. It's an okay way to do it, 16:9 or whatever, give you widescreen support and a few other bells and whistles. It's an okay way to do it, but I would recommend staying away from what you're looking at right now. All these over-the-top colorful textures and lighting effects and stuff. I think you really lose something there. If you start looking online, it can get a little overwhelming. There's a lot of different source ports for Quake. So I'm going to leave a link to all these if you're curious, and I'm going to say if you're going to do speed runs and you want something very vanilla, you can grab Joe Quake. But let's go ahead and see what John Romero has to say. This is said back in 2016. He says to play Quake Spasm. Now, Quake Spasm since then has evolved, and there's now a Vulkan variant of Quake Spasm, and that's what I'm going to recommend. So first off, why Quake Spasm? Well, it has some modern features, but it keeps the feel of the original, and it's like what you remember from back in the day. You know how you always remember things in sort of a romantic way? Playing it in Quake Spasm is how you remember it. Even if it looks a little better, it doesn't lose anything. Now, the reason you should play it in Vulkan, and this is the engine right here that we're going to get. It's vkQuake. The reason you should play it in Vulkan is because it works with all of the modifications that Quake Spasm supports. Quake Spasm you can download new levels, and there's a bunch of new chapters and all kinds of really cool stuff that you can get in the Quake Spasm universe, and I'll send you some links to that. We'll talk about more of that in a minute, and I'll even show you how to install a few after we talk about the core game. But it works the exact same way as Quake Spasm. It's just Vulkan. And Vulkan fixes a few problems and has a few benefits over the original Quake Spasm. Like if you go beyond 72 FPS with Quake Spasm, it breaks some of the physics. It works totally fine with Vulkan, so you don't have to worry about the FPS anymore. Also, it has more traditional water, so if that's something you wanted to toggle on and have like the old school style software water, you could do that. Different effects. Otherwise, it's very similar, but it's also faster overall because of Vulkan, and above and beyond that, it opens almost instantaneously. So vkQuake is the engine you should be using. But first, we've got to install Quake. So the version I'm going to be playing is called Quake the Offering, and it comes with Quake. So not only do you get the core game when you buy that, you also get Mission Pack 1.
Scourge of Armageddon.
That one's by Hypnotic Software. And then you also are going to get
Dissolution of Eternity.
That's by Rogue Entertainment. Wherever you can, just try to get the entire thing, because the other mission packs are quite good. Some of the levels in the mission packs are better than the originals, and the music's great too. So go ahead and get that and install it. Now you're going to notice something. There's no music. Why is no music? It's Trent Reznor, you know what I mean? This is like the atmosphere. You need that music. It really adds a lot to the game. And I think it's better than a lot of the Nine Inch Nails stuff that Trent Reznor did, other than Pretty Hate Machine. That's a pretty legit album. I don't know about the rest of it. It's whatever. All right, so what we're going to do is, after we get that installed, I'm going to navigate to the folder where this is installed, and we're going to start throwing stuff in that folder and show you how this works. I've got my Quake folder open? What does that even mean? You see all my contents there? Now, for vkQuake, we're going to do something a little strange. It's a destructive installation. There's vkQuake that I've downloaded. And you can just download whatever the newest version is. You're actually going to highlight all these files and drag and drop them in there. I've already installed Joe Quake in this folder, so just ignore that. It's not going to conflict with anything. I think I might have deleted the OpenGL.32 file, but that doesn't matter either. All right, so there we have vkQuake. Now we're also going to need the music. And I've got a link here to a Steam page, actually. It says, hey, where do you get the soundtracks? And there are 3 soundtracks we need to download. If you just have the original game and the original campaign, just grab this one. And you click on them, it'll do this nonsense where you have to like continue to external site. Click on that, and it'll start downloading. Inside your ID1 folder, we need to make a music folder. So, new folder, call it music. Not Mistru or whatever I was typing. Then I've got my music here. So the original campaign soundtrack. Oh, look at that. It's already got the ID1. Well, I could have saved some time. So you don't actually need to name things. Yes, overwrite the folder. And I went ahead and downloaded the mission pack 1 and 2. And you see in here we have a folder for Rogue and a folder for Hypnotic. Those are the companies that made the 2 mission packs. So if I open up mission pack 1 here, and there it is, there's a Hypnotic folder in here. I can just drag and drop that. Yes. It's just going to throw a music folder in there, and I think a playlist. You don't need the track list or whatever for this, but it's whatever. Some other engines like the track list. And this system of installing the music is going to be compatible with most of the big engines out there. Let's go ahead and grab Rogue and throw that in there. Now we're making sure that we have our music. Okay. There we go. Rogue. And this is no longer Quake. I titled it Quake Virgin because there was nothing installed, but now it's vkQuake. All right, so next up, we're going to open this up and just take a look at it, make sure the music's playing and stuff. vkQuake. And then I'll show you how to play those mission packs. Now we got the Vulcan FPS going up on the top of the screen. I'm running MSI Afterburner, am I not? There's 2 copies of the game because I'm doing screen capture and game capture. Just ignore one of them for now, but if I come over here to the options, go down to video options, we can bring this over to full screen. Full screen, and then you can do a widescreen resolution. It supports even ultra wide. This is one of the reasons I like vkQuake over a lot of the other engines, is it actually supports my ultra wide monitor for some crazy resolution. I'll go ahead and put it on 1440p, and then I'm going to apply changes, then we'll do a few more things. Now we're full screen. There's not a lot of nonsense going on in here. Some of the other engines have a million more things. And you know what? To make it easier for you to see, there's a scale option here for the UI. This will also scale the UI in the game. So when I'm in the game, I want that turned back down. But I like leaving the textures on classic, not smooth, but it's up to you, however you like. And then the anti-aliasing, I leave that off as well because it just doesn't feel like the original when you turn that on. Underwater FX, classic, you can put it on GL Quake if you want. I'm going to leave mine on classic because I actually like the way it looks. There's more mystery, it's hard to see underwater and stuff, so that's going to be okay for now. I want to show you a couple of things, but we'll leave a few of these off for now. There. You hit escape. If you get to that page and you're like, oh, did it crash? No, just hit escape and you're good to go. Single player, new game, whatever. Like my mouse look is on, my invert is good. All right, and this out of the box already comes set up for WASD. My auto run is off. Put it on vanilla auto run. There we go. Yes. Oh, that feels better. All right, so I can make that interface on the bottom smaller by changing the scale. Oh, it's not on hard. There's nobody there. So you can see how this looks. It looks about like you remember it. But you know what? If you played this at like a little bit lower of a res and you want like a bit of a lower res effect, well, check this out. This is one of my favorite things about this because I like the way it looks. Video options, and then we can come up. You can turn on your. That'll just make the textures and the distance look a little cleaner. I don't think this game needs it that much, but I'll put it on. There's something called render scale, and we can I'll put it on 1/4 and see what it does. It's rendering it at 1/4 scale and then bringing it up to full. That just makes it look a little more like I remember it. Get out of here with your hit scan weapons. I'll shoot that thing. Did I get you? Hiding over here. So there's that. It's hard to hear the music right here because it's very subtle. I should have picked a different level. But it's there. I'll show you a different mission pack. So in order to play our mission packs, we actually have to do that from a shortcut. And you can do it in the command line. But so I right-clicked on vkQuake and just pulled off and then let go. And you can create a shortcut. Okay, I'm going to do that twice actually, vkQuake. So now we're going to have 2 shortcuts. Now each shortcut, one of them I'm going to title Hypnotic, and one of them I'm going to title Rogue. I'm just going to right click on this and hit properties. And right here on the target, after the quote, you just put a space and then a dash, and then you just type hypnotic. Now when you're playing a lot of the third-party modifications or third-party missions packs, a lot of times it's dash game space the title of the mission pack or the folder that it's in, but we'll get to that in a second. All right, so I've titled Rogue and Hypnotic. I already did the Rogue one, just so I don't waste a lot of time. Open it up and look, there's Rogue's name. There we go. And we've got it small screen again, because it didn't keep any of my configs from the other game. That's frustrating. Where's all my configs? So now I would like to introduce you to our Lord and Savior, the config files. So you can't bind your weapon keys in the game. We'll let you do it. And there's also a number of other configuration options that aren't available directly in the game, and there's some stuff that's just easier to do by messing with the config files. So how do we do that? Well, inside your id1 folder, there's going to be a file called config.cfg. And if you open that up, you'll see all your configs here. Don't edit this file. This is just a nice way to look for reference to see all the different configs that you can change. When you want to change something, we need to open up the autoexec.cfg. If you don't have one of those in your folder, just create an autoexec.cfg and make sure you don't create it by just right-clicking and hitting new and then doing text document, because it's going to have cfg.txt and that won't work. I generally like to come into Notepad++, click File, click New, and then create a file and then save as all files. So it's it's not going to have a txt ending or anything like that on it. So it has to have a CFG ending. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and open up my autoexec.cfg. Now, when you first open this, it'll only have the plus mouse look. That's pretty much all they've added in there with vkQuake. And then I've gone and added a bunch of stuff here on my own, and I've added some annotations. If you want to annotate it, it's // and everything after the / is ignored. So here we have Impulse 1 through 8, which in the original Quake, those are your weapons. And 0 and 10, I think, are for expansions, BFG or something else. I don't know. I haven't played the expansions all the way through yet, so I'll figure that out later. But here's what I've done. I've changed them, and I've annotated what they are. The melee, that's your axe. That why is it even in the game? No one uses it. It's like one of the worst melee weapons in any game. And then we've got our, I'll make it a little bigger, shotgun, super shotgun, nails, big nails. I just made up this, I don't know what the real name is. It's probably like super nail gun or something. My grenades, my rockets, my lightning gun. And I've mapped them here to different buttons on the keyboard because I much prefer having my rockets as Q and my super shotgun as E, nails is X, big nails is R. That's usually my railgun, but there's no railgun in this game. And it's weird, you've got two nail guns, like, whatever. And then my grenades is 3 instead of 6. So that's how you do all that. And rockets is Q. I love being able to switch between rockets and shotgun with E and Q. It's really convenient. If you want to map your keypad buttons, well, that's a little different. If you just put like plus, then that's going to be whatever. If you just put this or equals or plus, that's just going to be that button on your keyboard. But if you put KP underscore and then type out the name, it's got to be all caps. Cap does not work anywhere else. If you put caps here for X or E or Q, those buttons will not work. But when it comes to keypad, all caps. And I've been doing this ever since JC Denton. There he is. Oh, he's everywhere. Ever since JC Denton taught me how to properly save and load my games, I've been using keypad plus and keypad slash for quick save and quick load. This game doesn't have quick save and quick load, but you can quickly open your save and load menus. And it's really convenient because it's hard to mistake that big plus button and the smaller slash button that's on your keypad for save and load. So, whereas before with F5 and F7, F5 and F9 and stuff like that, sometimes I would hit the wrong button just because they're the same size, they're up there, it's weird. So I like this version. You can do it however you like. And if you have one of those tiny keyboards with 10 keys because you're cooler than the rest of us, it's even easier for you because all you have to do is hold down function, F1, you got to put your elbow in control, and then use your hair to smack the escape key, and that's all you got to press. So it's actually easier with the tiny keyboards, you elite people with the mechanical stuff. Yes. So anyway, that's how you mess with your configs, and you can add other stuff in here. I've noticed that when you try to add in the resolution, it doesn't seem to work unless I'm typing it incorrectly. But you know, this doesn't seem to do much either. Let me put that on. This doesn't seem to work, and I don't really use a joystick, so I can take that out. I copied and pasted too many things. But yeah, I got rid of my crosshair, and this does set your FOV as well. If you put that into your config file, it'll get overwritten every time, and it's frustrating. So, and any console commands should work in here just the same. So once I get my config file completely set up and I'm happy with it, I'm going to need to copy that into the Hypnotic and also the Rogue folder. And that's just because each of those have their own configs. Most of the mods you're going to download are just going to use the config file in the id1 folder. So that's easy enough, but just go ahead and copy and paste that autoexec.cfg file and put it wherever else you need it. I keep a copy of that, just like on my NAS in case I ever install Quake or I'm ever somewhere else. I can just remotely access my NAS and grab a copy of my configs because that's how I am. So, if that's all you need and you just want to play Quake, you're good to go. You got your Vulkan, you got your, all your different Quake campaigns, you got your shortcuts. You can make more shortcuts of these, put them on your desktop or whatever. But you're really good to go, and you can mess with some more of these config files if you wanted to. But that's it. You're good. All right, let's go ahead and add on some more stuff, shall we? So if you're over on quadicted.com, there's a whole forum here and stuff. I should log in, but whatever. You can download completely new campaigns, and Arcane Dimensions is probably where I would start. It adds a lot onto the game. But you can just come over here and take a look around at all the different maps and stuff. Quake Spasm. If you just go to Quake Spasm and click on Other Worlds, it's got several good... Soul of Evil. It's got several very good new campaign recommendations. So use the recommendations first. It's a good starting point, and I'm going to start there myself. And I'm definitely going to check out a lot of the Arcane Dimensions stuff. And then there are stuff that goes even above and beyond that. Little tutorial on here how to install. I'm going to leave all this in the comments below, so you can have access to it. I've got that open twice. And here's another map that is an add-on, but you're going to need this to install it. So I'm going to install this first, just show you how this works. So here's our Quake folder again, and let's say you clicked here to download Arcane Dimensions, because you did, right? And let's go ahead and find it. Now you're going to need to make a folder for this, and I like to call the folder whatever, AD. I'm just going to call it AD. That's Arcane Dimensions. There are all the files in that directory. Now, how do you know if you need to make a new directory for it? Well, there's a couple different ways that a lot of these things go. If it's a map file or something, you could just throw it into your maps directory inside your ID1 folder. But if it's something more like this, if it has a progs.dat file, them progs.dat files, that means that it's a bigger thing and it needs its own folder typically. So installed that there. Now we need to know how to play this. Well, it's the same as playing any of the expansions, except this time we'll need the word game in there. So I'm just going to make another shortcut here by right-clicking and dragging and dropping. There we go, shortcut. And then inside this, I'll put a hyphen, and then I'm going to put game. And then space. There we go. AD. I think I might need... Oh, it worked. So just the folder title. I wasn't sure if it was the folder or the pack name inside. All right, so we got that installed. The other one that I just recommended, I better show you how to play that one.
The fucking Syndicate.
So just go ahead and grab this. Now, this is an add-on for Arcane Dimensions. You can just throw it in the folder, and it's actually going to add a new area to this. So... I think I wish they put more information on there. If you go to the home page, it's under construction. Let's find this place. I know after you download, go ahead and download this and install this. There's a way to get there. So go into the AD folder. Now I'm just going to overwrite stuff with this. Hopefully this doesn't break too many things. I didn't grab the GFX folder. Whoops. I'm going to overwrite things. Destructive. So destructive. Get that GFX in there. Okay, so it's just an update for AD. Now I'm going to run vkQuake AD again. Please work. All right, now I'm going to have to turn off the music because I already got a copyright strike for this once because you can hear the 9 Inch Nails. It's too loud, so I got to turn off the music. I don't want to get another copyright strike, And if you're a member of the FA or RIAA, I hope you wake up with scorpions all over your genitals, like 6 of them. And I hope they're vexed. Anyway, let's go ahead and check this out. So, this Arcane Dimensions, it's a lot of different dimensions, but look at all these different portals we have to go through. Most of these are different levels and stuff, and other developers are adding on new levels. This has some extra textures and it's just got some extra enemies. And I've only tried a couple of the levels, but it's been really cool. So let's go in here to Foggy Bot. No, let's go to this one. This one. Yeah, there's an update. So check this out. You go in here. This is from the 1.5 update. Press the space bar to go to the next screen, and we have another hub of portals. So all kinds of stuff here. Just going to go in here. If you just click the mouse over and over again, it'll cycle through things. But hit the space bar. I haven't played this level, so let's see what we're in for. Oh, starting me with an axe. I have no weapons. This is pretty. Some of these levels are so pretty compared to the vanilla Quake levels, but you know, they were made at a much later date, so try them out. You may have some fun. You may find your new favorite level is one of these, and you might actually find a level designer or a developer that you really like. One thing that's interesting with some of these levels is you'll start to notice, hey, some of these levels feel like some of the new FPS games coming out on Steam, some of the new retro Renaissance FPS games coming out on Steam, and you look at the level designer, and sure enough, now they're making video games. So this is a really cool way to find promising level designers, promising texture artists, promising, world builders, and then you can go and see if they've got any games in the works. So this is a great place to look for that. Anyway, enjoy playing this. Now let's show you how we got that other. Oh, what's this? New enemies. Oh, does that thing spitting at me? God, this is cool. I'm gonna be playing this on stream, so watch it over at Midnight Dojo on Twitch. Speaking of that, the add-on I just got, if you just go right to your left and you go to the update that says like 1.5 update or whatever, and that new map is called The Forgotten. You can try out all these maps and all these different campaigns and stuff. There we go.
The Forgotten.
Okay. I haven't seen this, so you're seeing it for the first time with me. I'm getting rid of that. Oh, yes. This is going to be some screenshots. Oh, there's zombies already. This is cool. Is that a fiend? Nice. Good timing. What a level. This is pretty. Can you shoot that? I gotta jump and hit it somehow. How am I gonna get up there? What the hell is that thing? Oh, does that thing just explode? Like the spawn? Is Sandy Peterson here? Throwing spawns at me? What? Oh, I just shot a wall down. And my configs worked. I just switched to the... get out of here. Jibbed. vkQuake. It's a ton of fun. Let me know what you think. Do you want more videos like this telling you how to play some old games? Because kind of my specialty these days is tinkering with old games to make them play on modern systems. It's as frustrating as it is rewarding, because I've forced myself to actually play the games, because I get in this mindset where I must tinker forever and not play the games, but I'm trying to get away from that and actually play these games. So I played through Quake, and now I'm going to play through all these other levels, and I'll see you on stream over at Midnight Dojo is the stream name on Twitch. So see you over there. Also be sure to head over to Epic Pants and get blinded by I should turn this into dark. Got some cool stuff in here, like this dusk shirt, this God mode mouse pad. You need to get one of those. And good shirts and stuff. So go over there and check it out. Oh, there's nudity. No one saw that. Get yourself one of these. Get yourself one of these, would you? Yes. It's lovely. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Comment. Let me know what other games you'd like to see. Like Wolfenstein. Hexen 2 might be a bit of a stretch. It's not a good source port in my opinion, but we'll see. See you later.